Yeah.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Mo Money with you, as always, on the Mo Money Sports Network, the sports network for the sports fan. And for season three, we have decided it will return. It's at the buzzer with my co pilot, as you know, the bistro of basketball knowledge, the guy that makes you feel like Charles Barkley tried to step to Michael Jordan. It's G. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Tonight is good, man. I'm riding high on a wave of NBA basketball live in person. I feel like the lower
In the
mainland of
city of
Vancouver,
Vancouver.
it's been the epicenter of basketball greatness for the last 2 weeks. So I'm in a special kind of mood. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of good basketball energy here the last couple days, man.
Can
It's
I ask you something? What's the
mhm.
vibe been like around the city in the lead up and now post game for the city?
You know, when we pulled in and you could see Jamal Murray uh, thing, like a billboard pretty much up there on him. It's like there was a sense of Canadian basketball all being there, and it was a very like it looked like the Raptors fan base, right? In terms of diversity, age, just a full mix, and the energy was pretty positive. It was a lot of kids out there just like amped, right? So kids like 5:30 p.m. the doors are opening, kids are running in the doors, so it's that type of excitement. And by the end, it was it's a school night. It was a long night. And
I'm guessing a few kids called in sick today. But
I think so. I think so. But the energy all the way through was pretty unbelievable, man. And just to see the NBA in Vancouver, I don't think um, yeah, many people are lucky enough to get that, and I got lucky enough to be there yesterday. So I was just a sponge soaking it all in like one of those kids, man.
and to that point, what are some of the positives you took away from the game last night?
Well, man, we got to go, almost in order like an onion. Which layer do you want to start? I'm a big
Man, you're
juicy onion
buzzing.
of,
I'm gonna let you roll for as long as you want to roll here, man. The floor is yours.
we got a lot of things going on, man. We had Joker in the house. For those looking for a little context, we're talking about the Denver Nuggets versus Toronto Raptors in person in Vancouver. Uh, Jamal Murray, Joker, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, everybody's out. Aaron Gordon, like everybody was warming up, everybody's ready to go. The only scratches were Aaron Gordon and Pirtle, I think the two main ones. And
Yes.
otherwise, we got to see everybody play tons of minutes. The minute we walked into the stadium or into the arena center,
Yes.
guess who's warming up before everybody? The Joker, the Joker,
Gotta put in the work, my man.
and just like seeing, people's kind of brains trying to process what, like, oh, that's the guy we see so much on TV just doing ridiculous things. And uh, yeah, so we got all sorts of positive vibes from the start, and then as it got going, the new look Raptors we got to see. So that's a second layer to the onion here. We got to see Ingram do his thing. He's the real deal. He is smooth as he always looks. A natural scorer. His personality hasn't changed, so for better or worse, he's that same dude. Uh, got to
Keep
see
talking.
some of
I'm with
the,
you.
some of the royalty. I don't want to leave out here because there was a couple special moments early on, man, where we were waiting for possible autographs by the tunnel early before the game starts, before the warm-ups even really start, right? Kind of pick a tunnel and decide which one you want to go to. So I get to spend some time with my nephew. We go to hang out by the Denver Nuggets end. Jamal Murray's warming up. He's got the 2020 Slam issue of Jamal Murray that I said, hey, go get this signed if you can swing it, hey. and he's just really, really just 11, 12, eyes wide. Bunch of other kids. We see the super fan from Toronto, and he's got the big championship ring on. He's letting the kids like see it, touch it, and stuff. He's unbelievable community guy. You could just see like, you want a selfie? Come on, yeah. Jack and Maddie D from a broadcasting standpoint, it was like a surreal. There, I would want a selfie with them more than anybody. You know, they just
Yeah,
they're
man.
so consistent in our lives that way. But
There's nothing quite like a Jack moment where he's like, "Get that garbage out of here," you
oh
know.
man, I got to see the spot like when they're doing their intro thing and they're doing a little dance. Him, Maddie D, and Kayla Gray are doing this like full on jig for I don't know how long, like a good 2 minutes, just getting people on TV pumped. Kayla Gray, got to say respect. She had time for people too. Like there's a couple little stories I won't get into, but she was just like there for the people. I saw a lot of that. So shout out to Vancouver and everybody there that was making it special for
Sounds
all the
like everybody
kids.
showed out, man.
Two players didn't. We're not going to get into the negative this early in the season. It's a first
We're
preseason game.
we're keeping it positive. We're
But if you're looking for Santa's naughty and nice list, there's two people that are already.
sounds like we got our first duds of the week. I don't know about dudes of the week, but sounds like we got our
Hey,
first duds of the week.
the good news is we know that wasn't their natural state of play. It was an awkward day for Mr. Grady Dick and Scotty Barnes, but we're not going to hold it against them. They were there for the people too. They came out warming up hard. They came out willing to sign autographs where they could. So everybody was there for the right reasons, man.
That's a good thing to hear, my man.
But the
And
scariest thing,
on a
oh,
scale of 1 to 10, and I think I know the answer to this already. Did it look like the Vancouver was ready for the return of NBA basketball?
it was like obvious hard answer, yes. The reason, it's just the amount of energy from kids and young people there. It was bursting at the seams of that family um, spectacle event that people were there for a good time and are going to show up. They were there not necessarily for one player or another. They were there for the whole thing. So I think it's a city that's ripe for it that way. And it was the most beautiful day in the world, man. It was like a sunny, sunny day. Saying like, oh, this is almost mean because we're almost misrepresenting ourselves as a city looking this nice on that nice of a day because it was
And
spectacular.
we just wanted to start season 3 of At the Buzzer on a bit of a positive note before we delve into the basketball meat and potatoes. We just wanted to give you a feel of what it was like last night at the Raptor game, or
Man,
Monday night, is depending on when you're watching this. But
oh
gee,
yeah,
I'm
man.
glad you got to go, man. I gotta admit, I'm a little bit jealous of you right now, my man.
Hey man, if I were weren't being honest, I would say like, no, but no, you should be jealous. You should be.
Just a little bit.
I was
I
lucky,
might not be.
lucky, lucky. I know I was, it's sort of one of those things. I'm not going to take it for granted. So absolutely, man, what a blessing to be there. Like just pure luck. Like there were so many, uh, yeah,
So
people to
you
thank
got
for
to
it.
see
But
the Raptors play up close and personal.
hmm
You were with the family.
with the
I gotta
family,
ask, what are your impressions of this year's Raptor team? Are we looking like that 12th team in the East?
well, let me tell you, man, I was sitting in a cool little section there. Just so has it, I think it was RJ's mom was sitting two rows back. So I was like, oh shit, we're in like the family section. And two rows ahead to and maybe two seats to my right is the architect, Bobby Webster. My
Oh, here
guy.
we go. Here
Close
we
enough I could
go.
close enough, I could probably tap him on the shoulder. Sitting for the majority of the game, and I might have said some things on here in the past that is
They weren't so
critical.
kind to Mr. Webster.
And I was thinking about them, regrettably, as I could see that he's a guy that's doing his best. Really cool to see him just out there doing his thing, and I thought, well, yeah, I'd want my first interaction with him to be positive, not, hey, that's the guy from the internet that talks shit about me, isn't it? So, it gave me a perspective that I'm going to take forward into this season here, man, and maybe be a little less critical of our executives, and maybe not. Maybe next time I'll just give him that tap on the shoulder and say, "We got to talk, Bobby. We got to talk. We got things to talk about."
So, what were your overall impressions of the Raptors' performance on Monday night?
It was difficult to do a full assessment, right? Like, there were certain pieces that without Pirtle in the middle, we were so awkward and vulnerable to anything that Joker wanted to do. Like, Scotty had to guard him, and Joker's an evil man. Like, he just picks fight. Like, it was interesting to see how he operates. He doesn't slouch on a second, man. He's just in your
As a wise man once said, he's a bad man.
and when we don't match up well against guys that are that,
Oh, and Joker's him. Let's not get it
and he was
twisted.
not, and we were getting under his skin, right? Scotty was giving it to him. Like, Scotty's a tank, and he was giving him everything he had, along with Mogbo, who's a tank. So he was getting under their skin, like, both ways. So Raptors have the ability to stay with teams through fast break and defense and grit. They've got those three things down, and Ingram is kind of a natural. Get in the ball, he'll put it in, or he can beat just about anybody that is his size off the first step. People forget how quick his first step is. It's similar to RJ. They're quicker to the hoop than you think. RJ impressed me the most in terms of expectations versus reality. He leadership, poise, follow through, just so overall, man, there were some really nice pieces, really encouraging signs from Jamal Shed, from Mashvili. You're gonna love Mashvili. A 6 foot something 10 shooting power forward.
Lunchbox. Yeah.
He athletic, no hesitation, and he's got a nice 3-point stroke. So it's a perfect counter for Pirtle being a non-shooting big. So he looked really good. It was like, who's that, man? He looked like, yeah, let's start him, actually. So he'll be coming off the bench. Jamal Shed looked really
Let's
feisty
start
and
him,
good.
but he's coming off the bench. I love how you did that right away. Like,
Well,
let's
he's
start
not a
him.
starter, right? Like, we look at our starters, and those guys are cement starters. And any team, it's theirs to lose. And I think they've got their roles identified. Scotty might be the awkward one out in finding his perfect role, but those little outside pieces really excite me, man. Like, there's one or two other things, but the concerns we'll keep at zero right now, other than for Grady Dick. He just looked so like spirit wasn't in the body. So it was maybe one of those days, just you weren't fully there. And it's tough to play that
Could be.
competition level when there's that kind of thing happening.
Here's my next question as far as the Raptors are concerned. What is the overall tone of the team? If you could put, like, what kind of mentality can the Raptors fans expect out of this ball club going forward?
There's unity, right? There was, I think, a couple sour grapes last year because of awkward things. And one of the funniest back and forths going on in the game was Bruce Brown yapping at the bench of the Raptors and giving it like, everybody was playing at about an 8 effort level. Bruce Brown
Yeah.
played it at an 11. He
Okay.
had
So
a weird energy thing about him. So I was like, what's this about? But watching the Raptors respond to an antagonist, this is my long way around saying the vibe is they're getting pushed by somebody that's like, F you guys. I was like, ooh, fighting words. How's the team going to respond? Fairly well. They didn't, splinter off at any point. They were a strong team. I don't know who the leader is other than maybe RJ. That's
all
the other
right,
thing.
one more final Raptors question as we're already 16 minutes into this podcast, and
Ooh,
we're celebrating a night in Vancouver that I unfortunately wasn't able to attend. But I figured it was a good way to start on a positive. But I'm going to throw some adversity your way now, G.
mm,
If you're the Toronto Raptors, what is the percentage of the hot seat that Radmanovich is on this season if the Raptors don't improve?
I don't think much of one actually. It's it's an awkward team that he's been given multiple years. So it's really tough to evaluate a guy other than on how so you can't really measure him on outcomes yet. As I was watching from the perch of Bobby Webster's perch, because I think he sat behind the bench where we were for the exact reasons of what you're saying. How is the team throughout the game supporting each other? Who's vocal? Who's advice? Who's engaged the full time? And Bobby's sitting right behind enough so they don't, so they forget, but it was enough so you get a perch and watch the training staff and watch the coach. And Darko was pretty much dead center of the center court, didn't want to really talk to anybody. He was focused with his players. And I think Bobby's looking for things like that. And if you're looking for cohesion, he was locked with like Ingram,
That's good. And we've got a lot to get to around the league this year, G. Holy smokes, where do we begin? Do we want to start with the Achilles epidemic? Do we want to talk about teams or do we want to talk about players? Or do we want to get the Clippers out of the way? Do we want to get the Clippers out of the way?
Here's how you do that. The who?
That's my point. But we got to talk about it because otherwise they'll be why is this an NBA podcast? They're not talking about it. So real quick, Adam Silver, this is my message to you. My fandom will weigh heavily, and I'm saying this as we're laying it to tape, weigh heavily on the outcome of your decision as it pertains to this particular situation. That's as much as I'm gonna say about it. I don't know what
Yeah.
you want to throw in there.
I think the crazy part is that it got bigger than basketball so quickly. Like there's that fringe of what's just, what are we talking about? Cap circumvention and da da da. But then it became this other bigger thing of like, can you just do whatever you want if you have enough money? And that shouldn't be part of our conversation in sports and stuff like that. So that's where I've kind
No,
of like I've tried to
because
pull back from any of it. It's
we're
like,
all built to believe on the sports surface everything's on the up and up, right?
yeah, or we can just embrace the entertainment aspect. But once it gets into a philosophy club and like sociology, I'm like, oh, we've taken a wrong turn. And I'm guilty of that all the time. But trying to stick on the right road here.
Don't forget to drop a like on this video so more people get to see our smiling faces. And yeah, that's about enough of the Clippers. We're not going to talk about it too often because we'll let Pablo take care of that. By the way, one
That's
last
the
thing on
best
that.
thing of that whole thing. Yeah, Pablo.
By the way, I'm just gonna say this before we let the Clipper thing go. Shout out to Pablo Torre. You're the man, and I got nothing but love and respect for you, Pablo. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on to other news. Wemby is scaring the rest of the NBA from what I've seen. I don't know how true that will be. It's a preseason game. Wemby's bound to put up numbers because he's 2 feet taller than everybody else. But apparently Wemby's making shockwaves in this preseason. Is this the player we were expecting when he got drafted 2 years ago?
I haven't watched a ton of him, if I'm being dead honest. And I haven't seen what this particular one is, but it's a great question because one thing I want to say is in the Olympic game, the gold
Mm-hmm.
medal game, it looked like he was going to be the dream team of the 2024 whatever it was by himself, and I hadn't seen that dude before, and I was so impressed with that guy, a young dude leading his country's team to a miracle away from France taking that gold. Right, it took Steph Curry hitting the prayer.
And I'm gonna lead right into this. How much time do we have left with Steph Curry, do you think?
He
Father Time is undefeated, G. How much time is he gonna give Steph?
oh, that's such a tricky one. I leaned early this year towards a quicker retirement than anybody foresees. It's just a hard ask, I think, of him, to compete at the level that he needs to be relevant and have that team and have that aged body and have that aged family. Just all the factors working against him staying around. I mean, he does love it, and we know what love can do. So maybe he stays for another 5 years, man.
I think that's a pipe dream in my eyes, but
If he's always going to be able to shoot. It's kind of like a quarterback. Uh, they might not need to be the most athletic, but they do something so special that nobody else really can. So there might be
this
that
is your
aspect.
2025-2026 season preview. So I'm jumping right into the deep end. This is our way too early, and G didn't have time to prepare for this. Our way too early conference and championship predictions. G, Western Conference or Eastern Conference? Which one do you want to take first? And I'll take the other side. And we'll go back and
East.
forth.
I'll take the East.
All right.
You're gonna laugh. And I'm fine with that.
Who's coming out of the East? Uh-oh. Oh,
It's Toronto
he's
versus
not making it.
Indiana in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Without Halliburton.
I think some things are going to happen in this year of the NBA that's going to shift the landscape. This is just a hot take. Raptors have the magic ingredient, aside. Denver Nuggets don't have it. Bench.
I'm not going to doubt you this early in the season, G.
You got to
But
have
that's
10
going
deep.
out on a limb.
You need 10 deep. OKC just proved it. And Indiana Pacers proved it. You don't need 10 superstars. You don't need 10 stars. You need 10 bought in with
So
all the
who
roles
wins?
and stuff.
So who wins the conference championship and in how many games?
Oh, man, make it go 7, and I think that the health fact, if you can be healthy and have 10 guys bought in, you have as good a shot as any team in the NBA. Honestly,
That's
man,
usually how it works.
that's how it
That's
ended up
usually how.
this last using the most recent championship to base our predictions on would be the most logical thing. So I look at teams that remind me of Indiana and OKC, and Toronto's not far off from that model. Young guys, all bought in, all fit their own little thing. It's the
I'm
time
going
to
to
have
take the Western Conference.
audacious faith. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I'm going to handle the Western Conference. And I, of course, have the Oklahoma City Thunder going to the Western Conference Finals. And I believe that I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that if the Nuggets can stay healthy, it's gonna be Oklahoma and Denver in the Western Conference Finals. And I'd say Oklahoma takes that in about 6 games.
Man, I could see it, but I also see the storm brewing in Houston, and it didn't stop with
I just don't
Freddie.
think they're gonna stay healthy.
That's such a fair, yeah. That's the reason that your prediction is probably a good one, right? Denver and OKC probably have the highest chance of staying healthy.
That's what I'm thinking.
And the way Murray looked,
Uh the Yan-
oh
the
my God.
Yankees have forced a game 4, by the way, G.
Well, who doesn't love a little tension?
Who doesn't love a little tension? I love it.
Nobody loves a blowout.
Nobody loves a blowout. That's true, actually. But and then I'll take the Eastern Conference too. And this is gonna surprise you. But I'm gonna give Mr. Dolan a little bit of credit. And I'm gonna say the New York Knicks go to the Eastern Conference final.
It's not a bad pick. I
I
just don't know with
I,
what guys
I
like
think
who
with
did
the new blueprint, I think they can get it done. I
have they
don't think
added
they win
anybody?
I don't think they win the Eastern Conference, but I think they can get there if the draw comes out, right? As far as the Eastern Conference champions, oh, I'm so tempted to go with the Milwaukee Bucks with Miles Turner and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think Milwaukee could win the East despite Doc Rivers, not because of, but in spite of Doc Rivers.
That's usually how it works with him.
And I've said some things about Doc in the past on this podcast
Hmm.
that, although maybe true, might be a little harsh. Would you say?
They've been pointed. They've been specific.
But I like Milwaukee and New York out of the East.
It's funny you bring those two teams up, man, because right now I'm looking at some breaking news. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh wait, okay. What do you got, G?
Bucks reject Giannis Antetokounmpo's Knicks plan as insider confirms trade discussions took place between Giannis and the Knicks. This is
Wait,
being
Giannis
reported by
went to the.
Shams. Uh, that just last week the Greek superstar confirmed that he considered taking his talents elsewhere. He did not say any names other than he approved a deal with the Knicks, and that was the only team that he was interested in.
Wow. And if it's coming from Shams, it's got to have some kind of smoke to it.
So I think they probably offered OG and Bridges, you think, or what? Or Cat and Bridges and draft picks?
They must have. That's the only way I could see it getting done.
Wait, they've got Miles Turner, so I don't think you want Cat, right? So
No, so
maybe
that
that's why it
that
fell
would turn
apart.
into draft picks.
But it's also looking like it was a three-team potential uh, deal. Anyways, any thoughts on that in terms of your
Well,
two?
that I,
Right, it's kind
let's
of a
just.
natural.
I reserve the right if this deal goes through, depending on what the Knicks and Bucks swap, to change my prediction.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I find it very odd that the two teams I picked to be in the Eastern Conference Finals are working on a deal of some sort.
It sounded like there was some effort being made,
There's
but
got to be. It's like
reality
when
comes in.
It's like when Connor signed his deal. There was nothing, and then all of a sudden, in 12 hours, a deal was done.
I just don't see anything working that sends to your rival, a superstar
This
of that magnitude.
this is worse than Patty Mahomes collapsing against the Jaguars on Monday Night Football.
How the mighty have fallen. Baltimore and KC, hey? That's just.
Oh man,
But this is
that's
why I'm
like
saying
watching.
a team like can just emerge when all these other expected giants crumble, like the Lakers.
Well, the two teams I picked aren't really expected giants in the Eastern Conference, but we'll see how
I don't
that
know
goes.
who is. That's the weird thing is I think the Knicks are
You know who
tend to be
might come out
favored
of the
in.
East actually? The
I told you.
Detroit Pistons.
Oh,
I don't want
okay.
to
I'll
disrespect the
I'll
Pistons
flip my Indiana to Detroit if that's still available. Has the chef
for
started
sure.
making the food?
You did hear me say it's our way too early predictions, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't.
Yes, sir.
I don't actually lock in my pick for the Eastern and Western Conference Finals until All Star break.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
fair.
fair.
Yeah, we get to see who's actually playing, who's going to be around. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our picks, and who's taking it home?
Who's taking it home?
Yeah.
The Thunder.
Yeah.
They're too deep. They've got too many guys, and barring injury, they've got too
Let,
much talent.
let me can I throw one and
By
hey,
all means, please.
let's try this at the buzzer thing here. 32 minute. I think I got what 2 minutes to convince you otherwise to completely change your opinion.
Let's go 35. We'll give you to the 35.
Done. All right. We're going back to the game 7 of the Nuggets versus Thunder. Shit, that's right. It went 7 games with
Yes.
an broken shouldered, I'm exaggerating, a banged up Aaron Gordon, uh, and what's turning out to be a total in MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. So you remove that and you add some fresh. This is the Bistro talking here, the Bistro basketball. You add a little Cam Johnson, right? Mm, he's eager, he's long, and he hits the three, and he's not. So we go, okay. Oh, you added Tim Hardaway Jr. Oh, nice. Oh, you added Valanciunas. Hmm. Is that Christian Braun with a beard? I forgot to mention to you that he looked maybe the best out of everybody. Like he was the fastest on the floor at any point, and he was like nobody was stopping his physicality. It was unbelievable and kind of scary to see what he's turning into. So I'm going down this list of things they've added and they've taken away negatives, and they've gotten rid of the disruption of Michael Malone that was clashing. So they've ironed out the coaching, they've ironed out the weirdos, and they've got Joker. Here's the other thing, man. Joker, he's in a preseason game in Vancouver. He's involved in he won't let this ref go on this one offensive foul they called him on. He won't let it go. Like 8 minutes later, he's still the whole
He's in
game, dude.
mid-season form.
The whole game though, he's up on the bench. He's on his feet, cheering his guys, yelling at his guys, yelling at refs. Like he's engaged the entire game. Even when the rest of the bench is sitting, he'll be standing and just kind of, I was like, okay, he's fully bought in this year. Like, and Jamal is fully bought in. Brown's fully bought in. And Bruce Brown is back, and he looked more like he just had a chip on his shoulder against the Raptors for something, man. But he proved it every time they tried to kind of get into him a bit. He came out ahead with an and one, with another offensive rebound, with a steal, and he yacked the entire time. So they added Bruce Brown back. You know what I'm saying? This has come down 3, 2, 1.
You've convinced me with two small pushbacks,
Okay.
and one of them is the fact that I believe, and this is just me talking, and I'm only going to say this once because I don't want to go in circles. Mike Malone kind of got a raw deal, but they might need a fresh voice anyway. So
That's kind of the vibe.
I'll let that one go.
Hmm.
The only other pushback I have is the player you removed, the 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 Michael Porter Jr. was only a distraction after he left Denver. Those are
Mm,
the only two small pushbacks that I have.
yeah, mindset on him was more personality wise. Like they had to deal with that as a personality on the bench, on the plane, on the bus. Those things matter if you got a guy that's under your skin a bit, right? It just,
That's
any
true.
any workplace, imagine there's that guy that's just too overconfident in a way that's not becoming, right? It's almost insecure.
Oh,
uh,
every workplace
and
has one.
and I think he was that, right? Like he was just a little too much on the uh, something. Anyways, there's a lot
Well,
to love. Yeah.
I have two more questions for you that, well, I guess it's basically four. Most surprising player of 2025-2026 in the upcoming year. Most disappointing player of 2025-2026 in the upcoming year. What are your thoughts on those?
I think my highest hopes would have Zion as the biggest surprise.
That would be great for basketball.
Wouldn't that just be like a great positive story for everybody?
He's finally here.
Yeah. Yeah, he would be so exciting to see just that big smile of his. I think that would be the coolest, positive, unexpected. Nobody's really seeing that. So that's the most positive and the most, what was it, disappointing or underwhelming?
The player that you think should have a good year, but you probably know in your heart of hearts it's going to come up short.
Oh man, why is that one so fun? That's cruel. That's not a good insight into my human personality.
But it's the fun question.
That's what I mean. Why is it fun? That's not good. Ah, okay. I had a name in it, and it's now escaped me, so I'm just kind of pausing. But um, do you have anyone off the top of your head there?
I have one for disappointing,
Yeah, who do you got?
and that's going to be LaMelo Ball
Oh, I remember who I
because
was going to say. Yeah, go ahead.
I think LaMelo, as talented as, and hear me when I say this, as talented as LaMelo Ball is, you can't put up empty stats and be on a losing team anymore. You're just going to fall into the face of irrelevancy, and there's going to be nothing you can do about it unless you can turn the Charlotte Hornets team around. And that might not be fair, but that's the way I feel about it. It's time to show us what you can do, man.
Man, I think you're on point. Ja Morant was my pick for most disappointing.
Oh yeah. Can I just say something about Ja real quick? Because I didn't want to pile on because I thought about him too. But I'm just gonna say this. Why does it feel like Jaws headed for another year where he makes another mistake?
It's just going
I
to be
have
injured.
no I have no evidence to back that up. I have no evidence to support my claim. I just have a feeling in my bones that somewhere along the way, Jaw's gonna make a mistake, and we're gonna be like, really, really, man.
It's tough to Tough to imagine it any other way.
Now, I will say that for my surprise, for the guy that I think is going to come like out of left field, it would probably, and I'm gonna go out to Orlando, and I'm gonna say if Banchero stays healthy
Mm.
and he leads the Magic to a home court advantage in the first round. I think this is gonna be Banchero's year, where he puts all the doubters to bed and says, "No, I'm here. Come deal with me." I think the Magic end up top 4 in the East, and I think Banchero's an all-star.
Okay, I got no pushback on that. I got love for a Duke boy there. He's done nothing but
Tell you the truth, that didn't factor into my decision. The thing that factored into my decision was his injury prone. I just think he's gonna stay healthy, and this will be the
mhm.
first year that he gets to go. See, this is what I was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's what I was hoping for Scotty this year too. So I'm gonna keep holding that hope too. And
Keep
if he
hope
finds that,
alive.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
that'll
it's
be the
all
name of the podcast. Keep hope alive.
that'll be the segment at the
It would
end.
be fitting for a season preview, wouldn't it?
Keep hope alive. No, maybe that's the mid-season pickup we need right there. Keep hope alive.
That's the midseason pickup. Yeah. I got a
Yeah, man.
question for you as we head into year whatever it is for the Raptors. We're getting on year 30, right?
Something like that.
And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this because you might have answered it on the pod already. But favorite Raptor of all time for G?
Guy named Jerome Williams always got my attention as a young man enough that I got his jersey. I think it was my very first jersey. JYD, they called him the Junkyard Dog.
Junkyard
Uh,
Dog?
one of the interesting little bits about last night was Danny Green was there as an honorary Raptor. For those that like that, he was in the house mixing it up, and I was like, "Who's that beside him? That looks like Isaiah Thomas." It was Isaiah Thomas, the former Denver Nugget and
Yeah.
two-time All-Star Boston Celtic. So he was hanging out, and somebody else, but some alumni in the building. Um, who's your
I'm gonna
favorite?
go back in the way back time machine. And for me, my favorite Raptor, skip to my Lou Ray for
Damon?
Alston.
Oh, see, that was number two for me, man. That's cool. We got one and two. We're covered. There we go.
I think we're good. I love watching Skip to my Lou play, man.
You know what's funny about both those guys is they were so positive. Like their entire uh, style and being was all skewed towards like extreme positivity, even though it involved gritty work and sly tricks and all these kind of things. Man, it was very, very positive. And it's
I don't
taken
know,
for
man.
granted sometimes, like how what positive energy actually feels like and stuff on a team where you see guys actually get inspired by one another. It's a wild thing compared to just guys going through motions and playing sports. And it takes
Right.
those special ones to activate it like a missing ingredient in the stew. Suddenly, you got
At
stew going,
this
baby.
moment, I will. It's at this moment I will remind you to like this video so more people see our smiling
Yeah.
faces.
Yeah.
And here's a here's a good one because I'm gonna go on my Laker tangent that I've been saving here for the last
Nice, man. Yeah,
45
I was
minutes.
like, I'm gonna have to ask you a question or two here, but it's probably gonna be Laker centric. So there we go.
Fire away, fire away.
Uh,
What do you got, G?
uh, well, you put me on the spot now. I got a question for you.
Or
Are
I
the Lakers
or I
real?
can
Are they going to disappoint you in the sense of not even being like what level of competitive do they need to be real to you?
I'm expecting this Laker team to have 52 wins.
Okay.
I'm expecting 52 and 30. And I'm going to
If you
explain
think back,
why.
okay.
Because I know there are question marks all over this team. Are Austin, LeBron, and Luka going to be able to share one basketball? I don't know.
Can LeBron
All
stay
I know
healthy?
is, huh?
Can LeBron stay healthy?
And Luka too. We got to put Luka in that conversation. Even
Yeah.
though Luka's shredded, what have I told you? October 21st. I'll start judging the team on October 21st. That's been
Hmm.
my stance all summer long, G. But here's the thing. We have the talent to be dominant,
Mm.
but we also have the egos to be docile.
Ooh, clip it.
Yes. So we could win our 52 to 55 games this year as I'm expecting, but we could also be the team that goes 46 and 42, has to be a play-in team and has to fight our way through the toughest conference in basketball. I don't know if we're going to be triumphant or a train wreck. Gee, I'm telling you now.
I guess that's an exciting
That,
bit of
but it makes it fun to watch because you just never know what's going to happen. Because I will tell you this, I will tell you, and I want the people to listen to me on this. You are right about DeAndre Ayton. He is lazy. He is uncooperative. He is kind of selfish, and he's pouty. But brother, I'm telling you now, if all he has to do, and this is a big if all he has to do is catch 10 lobs from Luka and LeBron, and he's a walking 20 and 10, the Lakers are going to be in much better shape than even I thought they were going to be in. But it goes back to what you said earlier in the podcast. Can we get him to buy in for the first time in his career? Because I don't think DeAndre Ayton has ever been bought in anywhere he's been in his entire career. And I'm going to throw out a comparison that's going to make some people mad at me. You know who he reminds me of? Amari Stoudemire. All the talent in the world, couldn't put it together when it mattered. He,
mm,
Amari was
yeah,
talented, but he never felt like he was bought in. Like when
didn't
those
have the
Suns were
extra
going on
gear.
the championship runs, there was never that look in his eye where he's like, "This is our game, this is our series." And DeAndre Ayton kind of reminds me of Amari Stoudemire.
You know who's a lesser version of that is Anthony Davis. Has that little bit of passivity that emerges, right? Not always. He's more like he's got balance more often than not, but
Yes, yes.
he's definitely vulnerable to that.
And I love AD, but I've seen the pictures, and I'm not going to judge AD till the 21st of October either. But coming in 15 pounds overweight after that's what they complained about the guy you were traded for,
Different
that's a
positions,
bad sign, my brother.
different positions, got to say, and sometimes a little extra meat on the bones for your offensive lineman is not a bad thing. So for your center who has to deal with what I witnessed the Joker do to the entire Raptors team,
I
which
hear
was
you,
like,
but he wants to be a power forward.
they mix it up a lot still though in the ups and downs, and a heavy body like that.
Where are we putting Dallas in the Western Conference here? I'm going to be interested to hear your take on this. Where do we
That
put Dallas in the West?
I put them right up against the Lakers in terms of question marks. Like they have the two biggest question mark, which is funny, the two teams that traded, but it's just so unknown. We don't know what Cooper Flag's going to be like among the NBA. We don't know what the Mavs are going to be like with an AD that's coming in heavier and goggles on, and we have no idea what his attitude has been over the last 6 months. Has it been? We don't know. So it's such a big question mark for the Mavs. The question I got for you about the Lakers is when you think back to other years of Luka and the Mavs and the rosters that he's had around him, the limitations that eventually emerged with each of those rosters, do you have any of those nerves with the Lakers current rosters? Like, yeah,
I have a couple. And I understand that everybody has their roles, but my theory is, and I'm going to say this as politely as I can because I love this team and I love its kind of makeup, and I do expect 52 wins this year. So this is going to sound like a really shot at the Lakers. But if it comes down to Vanderbilt and, all these other guys having to hold the fort for the Lakers, we're going to be in trouble. And by that, I mean, like, once you get past our starting five of LeBron, Luka, um, Aiden, and, who's the fourth guy there?
Hachimura,
Hachimura. Once you get past those four guys, the roster looks pretty thin.
Gabe Vincent, you can
And
say hopefully is something.
Maxi Kleba might be Maxi Kleba of old, but I'm not counting on that. He's a
No.
wild card. You ask me about questions, there's Maxi Kleber. And there's also,
Yeah.
are we going to have Austin at the end of the year? Are we going to keep Austin Reeves? That's another question. There are, see, that's what I mean. This Laker team could be either dominant or docile because there are so many things that could go right and there are so many things that could go wrong for this Laker franchise.
Yeah. And what about this decision? The decision to did you see all this hubbub
No, I did not, probably.
about LeBron and he posted this cryptic thing saying, the decision of all decisions coming Tuesday morning or something like that.
Here's my
So,
message to
oh,
LeBron.
the obviously where it's going. Everybody was already shit posting him the night before he even released it, saying, "What is it going to be? Some collaboration between you and FanDuel, right? Because we know
Yeah.
what you're about these days." And yes, people started buying tickets like crazy, thinking it was going to be the retirement announcement, and it's a collaboration with Hennessy.
See,
So my question is, does that type of shit get in the way of Lakers remaining focused on basketball because he's an outsized um, force of
can
nature
I
when it
tell
comes to the
can
media?
I tell you what it does? Can I, as a diehard purple, as somebody who bleeds purple and gold, can I tell you what it does? It tells me you're not one of us. It
Never was,
tells me
never
that
intended to be.
no, and people are going to misinterpret when I say that. But Laker culture has always is and always has been and always will be about winning. I remember Cube going on First Take and saying LeBron's not a Laker great because one chip isn't enough. You have
One
not
bubble
done
chip,
enough wearing, huh?
nothing.
You have not done enough wearing that purple and gold for us to consider you one of ours. And every time he makes a decision like this, it proves to us, or at least myself, I can't speak for the rest of Laker Nation, that he is not one of us because Laker Laker culture is win, win, win. And time again, LeBron shows me, because I won't speak for the rest of the Laker Nation, he is not all in on winning. He can say he is, but when when you clown yourself like this, it shows you that basketball is not your priority. That's what I'm trying to get at. When you clown yourself,
Hmm.
that tells me winning's not your priority.
It's like,
And I will use
yeah,
Connor McDavid as an example here. Last week, Kirill Kaprizov signed for $17 million. Connor McDavid is the best player in the NHL. He didn't even take a raise from his contract on
Mhm.
his extension. He signed for 12.5 so his team could get better. LeBron wouldn't do that in 100 million years. You are not a
Mm.
Laker, you are LeBron James. That is my message to LeBron, and that is my message to Laker Nation. Cheer for him. Cheer for him because he's wearing the jersey. But I
Yeah.
promise you, he's not one of us.
It's an old song. What was it? Imposter?
The Jim Carrey imposter, yes.
There's yeah,
And
there's
I gotta
something
tell
so
you,
phony about him, yeah.
I stand with Cube on that. And
Absolutely.
you can call us spoiled, you can call us whatever, but that's the standard in Laker Nation. It's chips or bust.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like he's a team guy. It doesn't feel like he's an NBA guy. It doesn't feel like he's an overall uh, in it together guy. It feels like you're either with me or against me. It's a strange vibe
It's a strange vibe, that's true.
because it
And
demands fealty, demands that. Yeah.
I will say this again because everybody misconstrues this as LeBron hate, and it's not. I've called LeBron the best player of his generation. I've given LeBron a lot of praise. Just because I'm able to criticize him does not mean I don't like the guy.
Hmm.
That's the
I'll,
thing
I'll
that
go on
people
record as not liking him. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, what I should have said, I'll rephrase. It does not mean I'm an absolute hater, okay? That
Fair, fair.
I don't like
That
the guy either,
yeah,
but
and
I can
and all yeah.
respect his talent. I can respect his talent.
I'll leave that to you. I'll leave that to you for sure, and
Anyway,
others.
that's the Laker lowdown from my perspective. Did I
Hey,
leave anything out?
that's an honest take, and there's really probably not much else we can say on it until we start seeing some games because
Uh,
yeah,
You
it's
know
those
what?
are the big factors.
Let's include our boy in the conversation. Let's talk a little Miami Heat here. What do you think their odds are in the Eastern Conference?
You know what? The happiest thing about that whole Clippers escapade thing is Norm Powell's free.
Norm
Two,
Powell's free.
I've been calling for it for a long time. You know my free Norm Powell shirt. Uh,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's been working hard for a long time, even with Kobe back in the day for a little Lakers connection there. Anyways, he was on the Clippers, did great, surrounded by chaos, gets traded to Miami. Miami's looking for something new. Hero gets injured in the offseason here. Well,
Hmm.
now we're talking Norm Powell and Adebayo and some guys. So Powell has an opportunity. He was already playing at an all-star level. Now he's got even more leash slash whatever he wants to call it, wit to do his thing. So Miami Heat should be thankful that they got one guy that's committed to the game, maybe two with Bam. And I'm sure they got some guys, but you know what I'm saying.
And Spo's one of the best coaches in the league, so I'm sure they'll get their fair share of wins.
But for a team like that, when you're in that distraction land, I don't know, man. We could barely imagine, I'm sure, but if you think about it,
Anyway, Ro, we just want to let you know we're thinking about you,
you should be
and we
happy you
wanted
got
to.
Norm Powell. He's gonna take you. He's gonna take you into the season just fine.
And also, Ro, it's season 3 of At the Buzzer. Still waiting on that theme song. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. All right, G, we're up upon an hour. Is there anything you want to add to the podcast, or are we ready to do to the week this thing?
Let's do it.
All right, so my first due to the week, and it's kind of cheating, but it's kind of not.
That's early, so we
My
can talk.
first due to the week goes to It's got to be the Joker, man.
Hmm.
If for nothing else, for to come to our country and to play the game the right way and do all the right things and be there. And the only and you can say he's not a Raptor, you can say this and that.
And
The
he plays
reason I'm
dirty
picking
too. He's not an angel, but anyways, that's still playing the right way. Yeah.
no, but what I'm saying is, as a superstar, I've seen people like Messi bail on the city. I've seen superstar after superstar opt not to play here,
Or treat it
and
like a scrimmage.
to see a superstar come and play the game the way it's supposed to be played,
He treated
Joker,
it like a
you are
playoff
my
game.
dude of the week, my guy. Thank you for coming and showing out for the city of Vancouver, something they needed. Is that a fair
Man,
assessment, G?
yeah, and it's funny because he was like doing every last little thing like it was a playoff game to win. And like I said, to the very end, he was on his bench screaming and stuff. Like they wanted the win. And could you ask for anything more from somebody coming to your country? No, like we don't even. No, yeah, we don't get that in All-Star games. You don't get that in any other preseason games. So shout out to the Joker, despite his oh, he was up to some antics in that game, man. It's funny watching it. He's so competitive, unbelievable. Dude of the week, it's a special one. This is a little special shout out. I'll keep it quick. We were waiting by the tunnel trying to get autographs and this and that. Oh man, it's not gonna get anything. This and that. Security guy comes up and dad next to me asks if his kid can get a photo up on the court and stuff if you would escort him. I was hearing this. I was like, hey, can you take the nephew too? And he's like, yeah, just security guy suit. He kind of gives a quick look and he's like, yeah, come on. He takes them both down there, all around the hoop and stuff to like the elite, behind, and they get to take a shot, like have the shot with the ball right on the floor. Uh, he didn't have to do that, right? Like he's doing his job. He's watching a million things. It's starting to get busy in the arena. He's head of
Mhm.
security or something like that, and he just takes a little bit of time out of his day to do something extraordinarily nice that probably left a memory of a lifetime for two kids. So to the security
Shout
guy,
out to the security guard.
wish I
Dude
had
of
your
the
name.
week.
Yeah.
Hey, I gave mine last time to James Dolan, so anything's possible on this show.
And a shout out
His,
minor one to Kayla Gray for taking photos of the kids that were like, can you take a photo of us? And usually that would mean like with you. No, they wanted her to just take the photo and
just take the photo.
she had to do it like 10 times. They're like, no, one more. And she's like, okay. So
Shout out to Kayla for being a good sport.
like the best. Yeah, truly. That was that. I was watching just
But also, if you've made it this far into the podcast, first of all, thank you very much. Second of all, I know he's gonna not like me for doing this, but I'm gonna do this while we're rolling. The new logo is courtesy of the Bistro of Basketball Knowledge. I know he doesn't really advertise that, but the new
oh
flashy
no,
logo
we
is
can
his.
yeah. Yeah, we got
It's
lots of
season
graphics to
3,
play. Yeah, we got some fun ones on the way.
and there's something missing. There's something. There's just a little
Some,
something missing.
I hear
Ah,
some sort of
yes, that's
rustling in the
right.
bush. Oh yeah.
That's right. This is what it is. If you've made it this far, leave your previews and predictions in the comment section below. Until next time, may your ego come from a place that keeps you humble. I'm Mo Money. He's the Bistro of Basketball Knowledge G. Together we are your at the buzzer crew. And we are, well, actually no, I'm gonna do this right. Mamba out.